Mr. Minnick here, helping students upgrade the board game project by adding extra squares to the board. One way to do that would be to immediately go to line 15 as this current demo version exists. And if you want your new n square to be, say, square 20 instead of 15, by changing that 15 to 20, that means that now you must add 5 more squares if you want this game to logically work correctly. So I'm changing that to only 17 because I'm not in the mood to add 5 more squares. I'm just going to add 2 more and call it a day. So n square 17, that's one change you'd have to make. Another change is to, obviously in my mind at least, copy and paste, say, that pair of constants, left 15 and bottom 15, paste them in here because I'm not in the mood to type a lot. Change this 15 to 5 to a 6. And similarly right here. But then you do have to find a new location for square 16 that's not on top of one of these other ones. And I don't know, I'm in the mood to just keep it consistent and move them over here left on the x-axis. So I think following the pattern, this would be an 80. I'm going to test that theory by running it to make sure I do have a new square that's to the left of this square. Well, sometimes in code, you make a change, but it does not have an effect, as in this case. So, moral of the story so far, adding constants to the constants section at the tippy top here of this program does not change the screen. Instead, we have more updates to make. So we study this code to see, is there anything in this area that you would need to modify to make a new square or two? No, this is all stuff that's generically not related to the length of the board. I scroll down further. This just doesn't make sense. I'm tracing it in my head. This has nothing to do with it. How about the function called draw square? Is there anything inside draw square? No, because this code draws one square at a time based on whatever two numbers x and y are. If x is a number like 80 and y is a number like 100, then at the position 80, 100, a square will be drawn. This is actually used 15 times to draw these 15 squares. It will automatically be called and used 2 more times to draw the 2 new squares that I'm about to design, but that does not need any changes. Let's look at draw board, the DEF, the function draw board. Inside of there, oh yeah, I see all the numbers 1 through 15. So I'm going to copy and paste this line of code that says draw square 15. Copy, Command C on the keyboard, Command V to paste. Line things up because Python's very fussy about indentation. If you had that indented too far, it would crash the program. That 5 I'm going to change to a 6. This 5 changing to a 6, and this 5 changing to a 6. And while I'm here, I'm going to paste one more time and change this new line, the 5's here, to a 7. So now, because I added these 2 lines of code right here, and I previously added this code, oh, I only added 1 square. I need a 17. While we're here, I will add another square 17 to the constants area. Change this 80 to a 40. Add another blank line in because I like blank lines sometimes. Now when I run the program, the board hopefully is longer than it was before. And it is. But the word end is on the wrong square. Well, we have more work to do, but so far so good. Watch the video over and over again if you want to remember what I just did to get this far. Now I scroll down past the point that I just added these 2 lines of code. Is there anything in this area that I need to change? Not really, except for the fact that the word end is being written to square 15. So I do want the word n to appear somewhere, but not on square 15. I'm changing that to a 7. And more importantly than changing a comment, I'm changing that 5 to a 7 and this 5 to a 7. Now the word end should show up, because I'm dividing by 2 here, smack in the middle of square 17, which is this one here where I'm waving my mouse, not the one that you can see a little bit itty bitty part of. Let's run the program and see if the word end is where it should be. And it is. I moved the word end from here to over here. So far, so good. Now I scroll down. Nothing in the reset function, DEF game reset, should be changed as far as the size of the board goes. Nothing in roll die needs to be changed. That just has to do with the player rolling the dice. Move player, the only other function in this program other than main program, which isn't a function. We have 1 or 2 changes perhaps to make inside of DEF move player. I click the plus symbol and look in this code and, oh, by the way, you don't need this. That was a glitch from the other day. Anyway, this is a glitch from the other day. Pretend you don't see that code. Okay, scrolling down. Yep, I see a pattern. Position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wherever this ends, I need to add 16 and 17. But interestingly, it stops at 14. Well, that's because the previous n square, instead of 15, it was referred to by the constant n square. So this is really square 17 now, and what I need are 15 and 16 to be copied from here and pasted in this section. In fact, this special comment here probably doesn't apply anymore, so I'm deleting it, and I'm putting blank lines in for good style, but I'm changing that 14 where I copied and pasted to a 15, changing these 2 4s to 5s, and I am going to copy and paste this and paste it one more time just about here and change it to 16. So in net total, I did add 2 more if statements to this section of the code, which is effectively adding computer logic, as we say, for these 2 squares where I'm waving my mouse to be handled correctly. This down here is currently handling the n square. Now, the only way to test this to make sure it works is to play the game like 1,000 times to make sure that you land correctly. You could set the program so that your initial roll lands you on one of these squares, but I'm just going to run the program and see if it really does end when I get to the 17th square. Pressing the R on the keyboard, figures, I reset when I'm testing this program on a video. I hit the R key to roll the dice. Okay, that's where the game would have ended before. I hit the R again, and we are still in. No, we're not still in play. It didn't seem like it worked. Oh my. Am I at a loss? Let's just check to make sure that the constant n square was changed to 17. It was. I'm going to run it one more time to make sure I'm not crazy. Pressing R, I roll a 4. That moved me 4. Very good. I moved there with a 6. That's good. I moved with a 2. That's good. And it just ended the game and did reset with a roll of 6 from here. So the game did end, but it moved to the wrong square on that last dice roll. So there's yet another problem right now, I believe, in our DEF move player 1. When I copied and pasted, I apparently did not look things up correctly. Oh, I see. When we do wind detection on n square, the new coordinates for the n square are not 160, 120. If you look up above for square 17, that should be, I believe, an 80 now. And this is still, no, this is an 80. And that should stay as a 160. One more test to make sure now that the program works correctly for wind detection. Pressing R, rolling the dice, and this will probably win the game here, this dice roll. Didn't. I rolled a 1. I rolled another 1. I rolled another 1. Just hit the letter R. It won, but it didn't pause where it needed to. It might have paused in the wrong square. One more quick check before I end the video. Oh, I forgot to update these comments over here in the right margin. That should be 16, this should be 17. But most importantly, the 17 square has a position of 40, 160. And that left 17 now, because n square is 17, that's what we should put in here for this notation right here for x. Set x should be at left y. Set y should be at bottom 17. And now I'm thinking it should work when I win the maze. One more final test. Pressing R. Okay, I got unlucky and reset myself twice, even 3 times. There, I got past it. And it did land where it needed to, and then after 2 seconds, I believe it is, it reset. Now, there is another glitch currently in this program of the turtle being pointed in the wrong direction, but I'll leave that to either another video or your brain to figure out if you wish to make that upgrade. Have a great day. I just added 2 board squares to the original board that had a length of 15.